Common challenges when learning the good communication techniques. Hi guys, my name is Deepak Shukla. I'm the founder at the Pearl Lemon Group. We are a marketing and communications agency based in the UK, USA, as well as serving clients worldwide. If you need some support with your corporate communications, then please do reach out to us. And today we're back for day number 9 of 106 days of communications training. And we're going to be talking about common challenges when it comes to learning good communication techniques. But before we get into it, feel free to click the link in the description below to get 7 additional strategies that we will not be sharing in this training. And do please, if you're watching on YouTube, comment, like, and subscribe. It really, really would mean a lot to me and to us. So look, let's come to the point. I'm going to rant a little bit. So common challenges when it comes to learning good communication techniques is and this is the real truth of the discovery that I have, is that people don't bloody practice. Okay, if you're not practicing to improve your communication, then your communication is always going to be substandard, poor, not good enough. And this is something in terms of what does practice look like that comes in many ways. So number one, you're watching this training and hopefully you get through all 100 plus videos, and that would then constitute probably, well, let's just do the math quickly. Let me find a calculator here. So bringing up a calculator app, Hangfire. Here we go. So if we do, say each video is 6 minutes, 6 times 106 equals 636 minutes. We divide that by 60, and that equals 10.6 hours of training. Okay, so that's based upon the content we're putting together. So the biggest first thing is that the most common challenge is how many of you could really say, and also let's also include, okay, so let's just take this and be practical again. Let's also include the reality that you need to probably pause and I mean, I'm a big fan of leaving timestamps, so leaving comments on videos based upon where you watched it to underline a key takeaway, because then it engages you a little bit more in active listening. So let's just assume that that takes you another let's say another 45 seconds. So 6.45 times 106 equals 683. Divide 60. So now we're at 11, so about 11 and a half hours of training, let's say, okay? So a common challenge when learning good communication techniques is people don't put the work in, okay? And the way this, like, I want you, if you're listening, to step your damn game up. I want you to recognize that you're probably not working hard enough. A lot of people will get to this stage in a training and say, well done, you're here, so it means you're serious. No, it will mean you're serious if I see, if you're watching, that you leave actual timestamps. People tend to watch a lot of content in a little bit of a hallucinogenic state. So if you're watching this whilst, for example, you're moseying on around the house and it's a quick listen, you're mopping the floor, you have it playing in the background, learning is not about the acquisition of knowledge, okay? And that's where people get things all messed up. Learning, truly learning, is about the application of that knowledge, okay? The application of that knowledge. Now, I don't expect, and one shouldn't expect, to have 100% of retention when it comes to these videos or anything that you do indeed go and learn. But the most common challenge is that if you're only retaining, for example, 30% of what you, and 30%, you know, is not a poor or terrible number when it's something that's new, especially in, this is not stuff that's examined. It's not stuff, for example, that you go away and have a test and learn by rote. Everything that we learn here is about the application of said knowledge. And if, for example, we have a run rate of 30%, let's say, use or application of what you learn, and you're only watching or engaging in 30% of the content, that means now that let's do the math again, and you'll see what I mean. You'll see why I think that the most common challenge is that people are just bloody lazy, to be honest with you, and they don't understand the implications of their laziness, and then they wonder why they don't get the results that they want. It's because they're not putting the damn work in. And yes, I'm talking to you. So if you're now 106 videos, 106, and now let's divide that by 30. No, let's divide that by, okay, sorry, let's divide that by, let's just use the number 100, okay? So you've got 30, you've got 30, let's trash that. You've got 30, you know what, let's just, I probably could have reset it. You got 30 videos that we're watching now, okay? So 30, and then we divide that by 30%, which is 9 videos. So we don't even need this to do the math. So that's 9 videos that you're watching fundamentally. Sorry, 9. If you only watch 30 videos from the 100 and you only retain 9 like video content from 9 of the videos, your retention's basically crap. So the problem I'm trying to underline here, the most common challenge is poor work ethic, and that is consistently poor work ethic, because then the reality is that if you implement 30% of, for example, what you learn, there's also the issue, depending upon how often, for example, you use this 30%, there's also the issue of learning decay. So if you're not, for example, using communication or thinking about communication as an example in a lot of the work that you do because you're technically led, then this will probably decay by at least, let's say, half, okay? So then you're left with 15%. Now, 15%, if we base it upon that 9 video thing, is half of that, basically, because that was the 30% was a 9, so that's, you know, we're back at 100, and it's half of that, which is 4.5 videos, which equates with 20 minutes worth of learning that's actually implemented. So for me, this is a bit of a meandering kind of route to explaining that the most common challenge when learning good communication techniques is people don't put the work in. People do not put the work in, okay? So, you know, there's not this, okay, you know, common challenges that you often hear about is, I don't know, lack of time or lack of support or lack of, lack of time, lack of support. What else is there really? I just think the main thing is lack of work ethic, because work ethic drives everything else. You should be watching all of these videos. You should be writing takeaways at the bottom of each video, because if you're not engaging with what you're watching, then you watch it in a hallucinogenic state where you half listen because it doesn't maintain your full focus. And if you don't repeat back what you learn, a little bit like you're teaching it back, then you're not going to retain half of it, okay? And that means in the end you don't get the result that you're looking for. And this is not just a challenge when it comes to learning good communication techniques, okay? It's a common challenge when, and this is the bit that's going to be killer, it's a common challenge when learning in general. Like, do you put the work in? And given that 30% like retention, and then we've got, let's say, the issue of learning decay, because you don't use something all day every day. Typically you use it in some parts of your work. Let's just say you retain half of it. Well, that's why you need to watch all of the videos, okay? That's why you need to go through an entire course to get 1 or 2 key takeaways, because no one learns or remembers 100% of the things that they watch or engage with, because we're not in a classroom. This isn't an examination. It's about applying it to your general life. And the reality is that there's not much creative use of learning things by rote anyway. So if retention stands at 30%, and because of learning decay, you're going to halve that, when you watch 11 hours worth of content, then suddenly you can still walk away with, at the 11-hour mark, 30% of it is 3.2 hours. Half of that is 1.5 hours. 1.5 hours, assuming the videos are 6 minutes each, is like 90 minutes worth of videos, which is 10 to 15 videos. Can you see how much has been covered just in these 9 videos so far? If you were able to take those things away, what difference would it make to your ability to actually be an effective communicator? But the problem is people don't realize or understand some of these numbers. When you understand some of these numbers, you'll recognize that you need to put the damn work in. I was going to swear. If you put the work in, you'll get corresponding results. Most people in most walks of life wonder why they don't get the results they want to get, and that's because no one's putting in work. And the irony is that they think they're putting in work. Me recording just for my team to put this out onto YouTube, I've let me think about this. I've recorded I did 136 videos for one series. I did another 136 for another series. I did, now I'm going to do 113 videos. That equals that. If the average is, let's say, 6 minutes, because that's really what we're looking at, it's 2,300 minutes. If we divide that by 60, we're looking at almost 40 hours worth of content that I've just produced to help my team. So hopefully that gives you a sense of what, in my opinion, and I don't think, to be honest with you, that I'm even, it's not that I'm working crazy hard and doing something ridiculous. What I'm doing is consistently working, okay? I record 5 of these videos a day, every day, and that's what work looks like. The daily practice of improving in a specific quadrant of your life will, over time, get you incredible results. Me having recorded 40 hours worth of content over the last couple of months is a decent result. I'll probably, if I maintain this track, get to a place where I've potentially recorded 100 hours worth of content for YouTube, for wherever the hell it goes up, before my team. So I hope that you understand that the most common challenge when learning good communication techniques is work ethic.